Hello, welcome. Today I have with me the newest addition to Big's lineup, Nico Granady Germari. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. Thanks for asking. What about you?
Oh, I'm also doing great. Coming back to interviews after a break. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. I like talking to you guys. But let's start maybe with a Trackmania World Tour Showdown with you. Unfortunate early elimination. You said yourself that you guys weren't practiced enough. Did you have hopes for higher finish, or is that exactly what you thought would happen and didn't really care?
Like we kind of thought it would happen. Like we already thought that we would probably drop out in the first day already, but we still had the hopes up because the way our group was designed, there was Alliance, which were like way better than everyone else in the group, and then the other three teams we thought were like kind of equal with us, or like the other two were equal with us. So we kind of had hopes, but in the ending, it didn't work out, and we were not like super surprised. So it wasn't too big of a disappointment.
Mm-hmm. The event was mainly to test the new format anyway. So how was the format? You've said that it was pretty fun, but aces are overpowered. Similar answer that I got from Mime in our interview, and I'm probably gonna ask all of you in my pre-TMGL interviews about the changes that you think might be good. Mime gave me his answer. Maybe you have your own. So what changes would you make if you could make some?
So first of all, as you already said, the format itself was incredibly fun to play. Like it was very motivating. It was a fair system. It was not like there was no random factor like we
Mm-hmm.
had with the multipliers or with the medal system from the previous season. It was just way better, and it was just a lot of fun to play. Also, the duo format was of course a lot of fun. Like personally, I was sitting with Massa in the voice chat, and we were like, like motivating us and giving each other some calls, like, oh yeah, here this guy crashed, etc. So that was a lot of fun to play. And yeah, as you already said, the only like literally the only one adjustment I would do is to nerf aces. I think as you said, Mime said that as well. I would like it if the ace would give 2 points to the winning team and 0 points to the losing team instead of 3 and 0. But I mean, the rulebook came out yesterday. Not sure if you saw that. And yeah, in the ending, there was no adjustments. So aces are going to stay 3-0. But although I would like them to be a little bit nerfed, I still think it's fine this way. Like the thing is, we tested it on campaign maps, and some of the campaign maps, when you don't really fully practice them, there are just some parts which feel a little bit random. Like for example, that one bug slide on map 22, if you guys remember. Those kind of parts, of course, are not that existent on the actual TMGL maps. And also on the actual TMGL maps, everyone will be way more practiced. So the level will be evened out, sort of. So the aces were a little bit of a problem in the showdown, and they decided to not adjust them. But I think it will not be that big of an issue in the actual matches.
Yeah, I think when it comes to TMGL, it will all look vastly different and probably on a more positive side. You've said
Yep.
something about talking with Massa on voice comms. I was curious about the voice comms because in other games like League of Legends, for example, comms are often used to produce content. Do you think that, now, for example, yours and Massa's comms are entertaining enough to make content out of? And maybe we'll be able to hear them in the future.
I mean, probably. Of course, like we were talking in German, so it would
Oh, that's
only be
true.
interesting for people that like. There's no point for us talking in English if we are in a match situation. But I think Massa actually already uploaded at least one match, so people in theory that wanna watch it can watch it on Massa's YouTube channel. And I also looked through the comments there, and some people said it's pretty interesting to hear what we like, how we talk to each other during the matches and what kind of calls we give each other. So I think we could actually make some sort of content out of it, but yeah, I mean, as I said, it's in German, so not that many people will be able to watch it. But I think it's pretty interesting for some people actually.
Yeah, I didn't think about the German language, but yeah, that makes sense actually. But when I was watching you guys play, I remember that one tweet of yours about the dream you had before a World Cup, and I brought it up with you before in an interview. But for me, it's just so amazing that you dreamt about annoying Massa at World Cup with your wheel, and now you are paid to
Mhm.
do so by Big at every LAN
Yeah, amazing,
in the
right?
future. How is that going for you? How is that going?
Yeah, that's the best job ever I can ever imagine. Now it's I mean, the thing is, with those being annoying at LAN, it's more of a joke, of course. Like,
Hmm.
I already sat next to Massa at the World Cup. We sat next to each other at Arcadia already, and now also at the bootcamp lately at the big office. And Massa always told me that as long as he, like, imagine I sit like here, here's my wheel, and as long as Massa sits a bit further to the right or to the left of me, and he doesn't really see the wheel in his I don't know how it's called in English, but he doesn't really see it.
Peripherals,
It's
yeah.
totally fine. Yeah. Like the thing is, of course, my desk is shaking a little bit, but as long as we're not on the same desk, it's also not annoying for him. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
in most cases, it should be fine for him.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
hope.
I just think it's just kind of amazing that it all happened.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. Yeah.
But how is working with Massa like overall?
So far, it is pretty good because Massa is always motivated. Not always, but like now with the season, he is very motivated and he definitely has his goals. And I already saw that, like, for example, we built practice maps to practice the Trackmania World Tour maps, etc. We were organizing boot camps together. Massa also has good connections into Big, so he also helped me getting into the org a little bit more and stuff like that. So working with Massa is really great. And I mean, I already knew Massa from the World Cup. We spent quite some time together and also at Arcadia. So it's not like we were completely new to each other. So I already knew beforehand that it's going to be nice. And that's exactly how it is.
And yes, you've said it already a couple times. You went to Big HQ for a bootcamp with Massa. What was the goal for that bootcamp? Was that more of a meetup with with the team at Big, or actually training and practicing together? And how was that experience?
It was a little bit of a mixture. Like the main reason we went there in the first place was, I think, we there was like a deadline for Trackmania Grand League. We had to give them some team pictures, some duo pictures. So we had to go to Berlin and take some of the pictures. And since we already were there at the same time, we were like, yeah, the map release is also that day. Why not just do a boot camp? So of course, it was not like a super tryhard bootcamp. It's not like we practiced 8 hours a day off stream and full grind. It was more like creating some content together, getting to know the Trackmania Grand League maps. Of course, also getting to know the other big players, for example. And yeah, so it was like a mixture of content, but also actually doing something.
Talking about practice, the official map pack has dropped recently. You've been on the grind early. But first, tell me, how does practicing look like as a duo? You've already said that you've been making practice maps as a duo for yourself. Do you guys have also sessions together? Do you maybe just exchange information? Like, how closely are you working together when it comes to practice?
So it's not really as close together as in other team sports, I would say, because it's not like in CS:GO or in League of Legends. Because, like, of course, we are playing together, but in theory, if you take a look at the matches, everyone still plays his own race. There's like no real team, no like actual team support. Of course, you can support each other mentally, but in theory, everyone plays his own race still. And that's also a little bit how we practice. Like, as you said, we have practice maps together. We also have a specific Discord together where we like talk about strats that we found and stuff like that. And yeah, that's kind of already it. Like so far, we haven't done any practice sessions together. We probably will be though. Also, like test matches against other duos we already organized. But other than that, it's maybe not as close as many of you would think. It's still like you rather practice for your own, but with with the help of the duo basically, but not really together. At least that's how it is for us.
Hmm. Good to hear that the practice matches are in the making. I was curious if that was gonna happen uh, soon, because I remember that in the metal system there were already those, and now with this system it
Mm.
makes even more sense to make those practice
Yeah.
matches. I'm gonna ask if those are gonna be private, or maybe are plans to stream it or not.
Um. Well, actually, good question. They are definitely going to be private in terms of we're not going to play against just anyone. We're going to play against other duos which also have our level because otherwise it doesn't really make sense.
Yeah, of course.
But are we going to stream it? That's a good question. I didn't really think about that. I mean, We might, but of course there always is the danger of like maybe showing some secret lines that others don't know yet and basically giving the others a bit of an advantage. So right now I actually cannot even answer that. No clue. We will have to see.
That's fine. That's fine, of course. And I have to ask, what do you think Big can aim for in the first duo TMGL season?
That's a difficult question, mainly because I think Trackmania World Tour in general, like Trackmania Grand League, but also Trackmania Challenger League, is more stacked than ever. Like definitely more stacked than ever. And I'm pretty sure, like in the past seasons, we always had the one or other player who was like rather not so motivated and didn't really practice that much. But I think now with the duo format, since you also have a little bit of a responsibility, unless both parts of the duo are not motivated, but I don't really think that's the case for anyone. So I think this time actually everyone is going to practice, even the ones that maybe weren't that motivated in the last year. So I think the level will be really, really, really high. And boy, it's hard to guess. Like the thing is, in theory, almost every duo can, if they practice a lot and if they have good matches, can win it all. Honestly, of course, you have
Mm-hmm.
like some more up banger duos. Like many people will think about Solary with Karl and Peck, and of course, they are like probably gonna end up higher than we are gonna end up. But I think in general, it's so hard to tell. Like we could get last, although we play good. We could also get second. I have no idea. Of course, our goal is mainly to get playoffs, which means after the 7 steps, goal is to be top 6, I think it is. And yeah, that's our goal for the beginning. And even that could already be difficult because, as I said, it's super stacked.
Mm-hmm. In Trackmania, like everyone is so humble. Maybe except Carl. Carl knows what he's talking about. But um, you saying that it's so close, right? Would you say it's more stuck than the last season?
Definitely, 100%.
Oh, it's getting better year by year. Great to hear that. Thank you for the interview. Do you have any short message for the fans, as always?
Yeah, of course. I of course hope that my viewers, especially, and also the German fan base in general, because you know Massa and me are a German duo. So I hope all of the Germans are gonna support us. There's of course gonna be the streams again over at Trilux Twitch channel probably. So I kind of hope we can. I kind of hope we can definitely make the German scene proud. We're gonna try our best, and yeah, gonna be a nice season. And I hope like us players, all of us players are super ready and super motivated. So I hope the viewers are as well, and especially also my viewers, of course. So yeah, gonna be a nice year.
And to all the viewers, you can find all the links to Grenady's socials in the description. Thank you very much for watching. And if you enjoyed, I invite you to leave a like and subscribe for more interviews in the future. Thank you very much.